Almost every time I go to write an article or make a video about an SEO topic, I really feel compelled to mention at the very beginning, hey, really do your keyword research before you do whatever it is that I'm demonstrating. If you don't do your keyword research, if you don't find out what terms you should try to optimize for because they have a good mix of traffic and competition, you can just really hurt yourself, really waste a lot of time, resources, money, whatever it is you're doing, going after terms that maybe have way too much competition, maybe don't get any traffic, maybe have a combination of the two, you never know. So keyword research is very important. So I've talked about it, I've kind of demonstrated a little bit, but I actually wanted to do some keyword research here live and kind of show how that I do. So I just picked a site at random. I have nothing to do with it. It's dicetower.com. And what it is it's a website for a podcast that they do about board games, card games, strategy games, things like that. So I just grabbed 4 terms at random: board game podcast, card game podcast, some of the others. And you can see that 2 of them it ranks in the top 10 of Google, and 2 it doesn't even rank in the top 100 of anything. And so this is a rank tracker, by the way, from the SEO Power Suite. I've done a review on that. So we're going to go up here from the keyword rankings. Now we'll look at the keyword research view. And you can see 2 of these have a ton of competition, but also a ton of searches. And then down here you see 2 terms that have far less competition, but also far less searches. It's real important. Tools like this, they don't make your decision for you. It's always up to you what you go for. You can start off with some easy ones, try to build your way up. But you really should look at this. You pretty much have to look at it. So like I said, this doesn't make your decision. You're not always going for the term that has the best ratio of competition to searches, but it's probably a good one to target, a good one to start with, and at least you can make reasonable decisions from there. Excuse me. So this happens a lot. Someone, hey, take a look at my site, give me some more terms to go for, some terms to not only try to optimize for, but maybe some good suggestions for articles, the content to provide. So we've got these 4 terms. We'll select that. Now we're going to use Rank Tracker to not just track our rankings and do our keyword, but actually do our keyword research. So these are the different tools that we can do. So it looks at these keywords that we already have and suggests more. First thing we're going to start off with is the Google AdWords tool. Click there. We've got our 4 terms in there. We click Next. Now it's going to look at Google. And it's going to look at those 4 terms, and there we go. Now it's recommended how many more. 96 more terms for us to look at. So now we kind of make a decision which ones are going to be good. Maybe card games online are good. Maybe best board games is good. New board games. Let's see what other has some good ones here. Popular card games. Alright, we'll go with those for right now. Click Next. Now it's adding them in and it's doing some more research. Checking out the competition and the ratings for those terms that we just added. So there we go. Now we can see. Now we're going to do click this button, and it's actually going to check the rankings for the site. So it adds them in. It's already got all the data as the others. We can see where we rank in the top 100 in Bing, in Google, and in Yahoo for those terms already. My rank tracker, I've actually got the most you can have is 25 processes going at once, and I've actually got it set up to do all 25 processes, and I have 35 private proxies dedicated to this. So this runs really, really quick. So what it's doing in 3 minutes on this, may take half an hour if you only have 1 proxy or maybe a couple of proxies. Proxies are real cheap, and if you're doing anything SEO like that, they really, really are worth it. So I'm going to pause this for a sec and let it finish so I don't just sit here for the next 2 minutes. Oh, actually no need, it's almost done. There we go, that's how good proxies are. So out of those 12 possibilities, we've had 3 results in the top 100. Okay. So we can see the new words now. We can come back to a keyword view and see, okay, best board games a term. We have some ratings in there in the top 100. Let's go back to the keyword research. So out of those terms that we added, card games online looks like a decent term. It's got a decent amount of competition, but also a good number of searches for a good ratio. Best board games, stiff competition, number of searches. Okay, at least, like I said, some more ideas, some more terms. Now let's go find some other things. Let's take these terms that we, let's take the card games, board games, card games online. Now we'll just take them all. Do some suggestions again. We did the Google AdWords. Now let's do, let's see here, Google related searches. If you search for something on Google and say you search for a term, and then down at the bottom it'll say, hey, since you're searching for this, maybe check out these related terms. That's what this is doing. It's typing those into Google, seeing what the related terms it suggests are. So board game reviews, that might be a good one. Let's see, Board Game Geek, board games, board game podcast. So we'll just pick those two out of how many more did it give us? 116 possibilities, great. I'm going to keep this small, but in real life, a lot of times someone will just give me like, a handful of keywords like these 4 that I had, and I'll turn it up to like 50 possibilities trying to pick good ones. And then we'll do these other searches to look to see which ones have good ratio of competition, things like that. So I'm just showing, kind of demonstrating, in real life what I'm doing, just keeping the numbers a little smaller to take a handful of keywords and blow it up into a big one to try to make some good informed decisions. Check where the rankings are for those terms, and then we'll try another tool. Yeah, things that took with 5 private proxies about an hour to do. When I bumped that number up to 25, now it's take about 5 to 6 minutes. So that's 2 things that are always worth money: is proxies and the capture service. Almost done. All right, there we go. So some more rankings, and we can see once again where we rank there. So now we did the Google AdWords, and we did the Google related searches. Another thing we can do, we'll only pick one term for this. Let's pick board games. Go to suggest. But we can actually do competition research. And what this does, let's do one term to keep it quick, is this actually looks at some of the other, for the term board games, it looks at the top websites for that term, and then it actually scrapes the keywords that they're using, which is really, really handy for some of the more obscure terms that maybe don't have a ton of data, and some of the bigger ones like SEMrush or whatever, to find other terms to go for. And also it's kind of handy because you're emulating those that are successful. If these are the sites that have top rankings for the terms you want, it's good to see which keywords they have, because obviously it's working for them for the terms you're after. So I really like this methodology. It's good. And like I said, right now you can see I'm up to 10 terms over here. We'll see what this gives me. But in real life, like I said, I'll bump it up to 50 or higher a lot of times, just because some will surprise you. Out of those 50, I mean, there will probably be 3, 4, 5, maybe more that you wouldn't even thought of. But it's like, man, those are really good terms. So now we can see a lot of these don't apply to us because it's just locations or whatever. So, but let's go board game, maybe just to add one. This may seem like it's taking a little bit of time, but I mean it's actually very, very powerful, and it's so much quicker than trying to do it another method. And it's one of those reasons why keyword research is so important. Is just like you don't know how everyone else thinks. You know what terms you're kind of thinking of, but it can really surprise you when a majority of people may phrase something differently than you do, than you think. And it's I've never done keyword research and not been surprised at least a little bit. Click finish now on that. We've got some other things, some Google autocomplete. If you start to type something in Google and it tries to finish and guess your search for you, you can do that. SEMrush, which is a third-party company that provides keyword research. We'll pick all the ones for this. And it'll give you more data if you actually have an account with SEMrush, but it'll do some searches even if you don't, which I don't. And so you can kind of see maybe board games online is a good one. Game of Thrones, most popular card games. Do those two. It gave me 57 suggestions. We'll just kind of finish for time's sake. But that's kind of keyword research in a nutshell. in a nutshell, excuse me, we'll just go down here. We'll use all these different tools. Like I said, we'll build them up. I usually try to go for over 50 and do these KEI searches to just kind of see competition and number of searches, and then at least I can give back to my clients or you yourself, whoever, just kind of some good information to go off and maybe kind of, okay, like I said, some suggestions for content. If you're not quite sure like which way to phrase for search engine, should I word it like this? Should I word it like this? This is a real good way to kind of help you out and see which ones are more likely to get good rankings for you. So I hope this helped, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.